Hello, and welcome to my Shinobird ritual deck profile. I'll quickly go over the deck profile that I've split into little categories, and then I'll go through some scenarios on how this deck plays. So first, we play 3 copies of Amano Iwato, 3 copies of Aratama, 3 copies of Nikitama, 3 copies of Sakitama, 3 copies of Pre-Preparation of Rites, 3 copies of Shinobird's Calling, 2 copies of Shinobaron Peacock, and 3 copies of Shinobaroness Peacock. That's the core of the deck, all done. As for generic cards, we play 3 Trade-In, synergize as well with the level 8 rituals, which can still be used as ritual material while in the graveyard, Foolish Burial, and a Call by the Grave. That's it for the generic cards. Next we have the Dogmatica package, so we have 3 copies of Nadir Servant, 1 Dogmatica Maximus, 1 Dogmatica Ecclesia the Virtuous, and 1 Dogmatica Punishment. Just generic support for the art, for the stuff. And for the spicy tech, we have 1 copy of Terraforming, 3 copies of Valence World Shinra Bancho, and 2 copies of Valence World Koenig Wiesen. Spicy tech. For the extra deck, we have Elder Entity Entis, Shiranui Sword Saga, a Herald of the Arclight, which I would like to run more than 1, but I only have 1 copy. Garura, which I have 2, and Mirrorlogic Aggregator. We also have these are the ones for the Dogmatica stuff. We also have Baguska, and these 2 are just optional cards. You'll rarely ever see these, but being able to throw down 4K for Dogmatica Punishment to get over pretty much anything in the game is pretty good. You'll never summon these. They can be replaced with other things like Cross Sheep or another Herald of the Arclight. Zeus. Any deck that can go into a Xyz monster will play Zeus. Simple. Salamangre Almirage and Secure Gardener. This is not invoked, but getting Secure Gardener on the field by using Almirage just allows you to get Dogmatica Maximus on the field by banishing Almirage from your deck, from your graveyard. And then we have Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, and Access Code Talker. Just a little cute little access code package. In the side, we have 2 Trap Trick, 3 Harpy's Featherstorm, 2 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, rest in peace Lightning Storm, 1 Raigeki, 3 Kaiju of your choice as long as it's level 8. I would have Gamma Seal here, but I don't know where my copies are. And for funny spicy tech against specific decks in my local Feng Shang Mirror. So that's the list. I'll go over some scenarios that you could end up being in. This version of the deck is a going first deck. You typically want to go first, and if this is your opening hand, congratulations, you got the best possible hand I can think of right now. This one is simple. Pre-prep of rites. You search for your ritual spell, and then your ritual monster. Either one would do. And then you activate Sakitama to then summon Nikitama. Then you use Nikitama's additional normal summon of a spirit monster to summon Aratama. Aratama will then search for the like the other ritual monster that you didn't have, that you didn't search from pre-prep, and then you can use your actual normal summon on Amano Iwata. And from here, you can then overlay Nikitama and Aratama into Baguska in defense position. That will force Amano into defense position, and then you can pass your turn, and you will have Amano on the field, which prevents monster effects except for spirit monsters, and then Baguska, which negates any monster effect if it's in defense position. This will then negate this when it tries to return to hand at the end of the turn, and there you go. You then have a permanent Amano Iwato and a Baguska. If your opponent somehow is able to get a link monster that can then be over Amano, they then still have to deal with Baguska. Or if they get rid of a Baguska, they still have to deal with Amano. Most of the time, they're not going to be able to get over both of them. During your next turn, if both of these are still on the field, you can then detach Nikitama, activate its effect in Grave, because you do control a spirit monster, and you get to draw a card. And then from there, you can put this into attack, this into attack, and then from the cards that you searched earlier, you can then activate Shinobird's Calling and choose to either summon. You can choose to summon either of them, depending on what your opponent has. If they set any back row, you summon this one. This one will bounce. Well, this one will spin up to 3 spell trap cards your opponent controls to the deck, and then you can summon any level 4 or lower spirit monster from the deck, which you would probably just get another Amano Iwato. This one does the same thing, except it returns up to 3 monsters to the hand. So if they have monsters you can't beat over, you can just non-target remove, get them out the way. And so the one you summon, you then use the other one as the ritual material. And then you just have a lot of damage on board, and you usually are able to win from that. Because, 21, 19 plus like 3k, that's already a lot of damage, and you still have a normal summon this turn. So, you just need an extra 1k damage, I think, and you're able to win. Now let's say this is your opening hand. Trade in Nikitama, Aratama, Nadir Servant, and Valence World Shimno Bancho. If this was your opening hand, first you would activate Valence World Shimno Bancho. You'll then go through your deck and place the other Valence field spell into your opponent's field spell zone, and from there, they then control the card. You can then summon Nikitama, and then you get an additional normal summon of a spirit monster, so you get to summon Aratama. With Aratama, you would then search for Shield Baroness Peacock. Then you would activate. Then you have a choice. You could either link one into Almirage using Nikitama. Obviously, it would be not right there on the field, but you could link one into Almirage using Nikitama and get a free draw, and then from there you can then go into Secure Gardener instead, which will put Almirage in the graveyard. So I'll put that over here. Then you can activate Nadir Servant, and with Nadir Servant you would send the Shiranui Sword Saga guy. He's he summons a token when he's banished, and then you would add to your hand Dogmatica Maximus. You would then banish Shiranui Sword Saga to summon Maximus, and then you'd activate Maximus to send Herald of the Arclight and Garura. You would then chainlink 1 Herald of the Arclight, chainlink 2 Garura to chain block the Arclight, and then from the hand that you had earlier, which you added Shinobird Peacock, you would then add Shinobird's Calling, the ritual spell, and from here you could then, with this hand, you could then risk it by using trade-in, sending Shinobird Peacock to draw 2, or you could just activate Shinobird's Calling, send either Maximus, which you might want to keep him because of his high defense, or you can send Aratama and then banish Nikitama, which is at the bottom here, because you can banish spirit monsters from your graveyard with Shinobird's Calling to ritual summon. And then upon the ritual summon of Shinobird Peacock, you would then return the Valence World field spell that you put on your opponent's side of the field to your deck, and then you can special summon Amano Iwato from the deck. And when Amano Iwato is special summoned, he does not return to the hand at the end of the turn. So that's basically the main gimmick. You want to get Amano on the field to stay on the field permanently, and the easiest way to do that is with the Valence field spells, because activating one puts the other one on your opponent's side of the field. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. If you want to know why a specific card is in the deck, the reasons for why some cards work and other cards don't, or if you have any suggestions on how to improve the deck, be sure to comment and I will be sure to read every single one of them. And if you want to learn more about the Spirit deck itself, I will leave a link in the description to join the Spirit/Shinobird Discord server. They're really good. They're friendly. They understand the actual spirit monsters better than I do. Thank you for watching. Remember to stay hydrated, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, my friends.